Good evening, everyone. Welcome in for a special Microfleet Collectors broadcast here. How you doing, Dave?
Good. Made it through another week. How are you guys doing?
Just living the dream, man. Livin. What about you, Cole?
Oh man, slow week, not much going on.
No, there really wasn't that much going on.
No,
I don't think I spent any time on Instagram or Facebook yesterday or the day before.
no, I went to the post office and
Tumbleweeds.
did a couple other things, some
Nice.
errands. That was about it this week. Nothing crazy.
I know, right? I mean, it's not like Jazzwares Vault was announced or we got a chance
Nah.
to see the ATTE or the Ghost or anything like that. But
Out of nowhere.
We have no idea when those are coming.
for sure. So we're going to go through this evening and chat about. We'll kind of do our normal weekly kind of roundup of all of the series. We'll rip through that really quick, and then we'll talk about all of the stuff that probably everybody really wants to hear about, which is Vault, ATTE, the Ghost, and then anything else that we want to talk about during this period of time. Well, let's dive on in here. So we've got Dave. You want to hit series 1 and 2 really quick?
Yeah, series 1 and 2. Honestly, there's really nothing much going on there. Series 1 is still lingering in stores just a little bit. I did find troop transports actually at a Walmart last weekend for $5, so that's the cheapest I've seen it. Ended up grabbing them for the figures. Series 2, someone actually did find a Sabine at a Fred Mayer today. So I don't know if they're still out there now, but it's worth checking anyway. Other than that, that's really it. Just Series 2 is pretty much gone, and Series 1 just still kind of lingering out there.
Yeah. The troop transports, I think it's been a Walmart-wide discount. I've seen that at a handful of stores for $14, and I've seen a lot of people posting. That's that whole class of vehicle or that whole price point where you've got the pod racer and then you also have that troop transport. They're both discounted to $14.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm hoping that that'll drop again here next week and a bunch of people are able to pick up extras for really cheap.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I've seen between either $13 or $14, and then the Walmart that I went to, I don't know if they had it on clearance for $5 because you have to cross a bridge to get there, and it's like kind of like on an island, so maybe not a lot of people go there, and that's why they're clearancing them down to that cheap. But hey, I was there. I grabbed them. Thank you.
For sure.
What's your fleet building price on those? Because the Walmart by my house has them for 14 finally, and there's a lot of them, and I still don't think $14 is when I just start buying them just to buy them.
$5.
$5, is that it? That's your number?
$5 is my number.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely would grab several at that price, but
I'm happy with the original 2 that I got. So the ones that I got now, I just got for the figures, and I'll probably donate them somewhere.
They're cool. That number would be higher if they had the current stormtroopers in them.
Yes,
since they're just the cool the shades.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too jazzed about grabbing a ton of those since we've got better ones out there now.
I told Kevin before that I wish the troop transports had the little clips inside so you can clip the figures in.
Yeah, for sure.
I put them back on the shelf, I put them back on the shelf, and they just fall down. I'm like, what was the sense of that?
Yeah, it seems like you might need some 3D printed stormtroopers that are seated. Those would be pretty good to fit in one of those things. But yeah, then we got the other thing that I've seen at Walmart's actually this week that's been on clearance is the AT-AT. So I know it's not on clearance like all Walmart wide, but one of the ones near me is down to $40, which I still say is on the high end for me to get another one, considering the problem with the neck.
Yeah.
And I will say for anybody,
you might be about to buy another one.
Yeah. Yep. I would say for sure keep an eye out for the neck, so you can obviously see inside the window to see whether or not the neck is damaged. I've still seen a handful out there that have the damaged neck in the box still. So Just keep an eye out for that. So that's, I think, Series 1 and 2. Series 3 is surprisingly has had a couple of items show up here this past week. So I've seen some people find the White O as well as Grievous in Targets, which is interesting to see that Series 3 is still coming into Targets. I wonder if that isn't just they've had some stuff that's in the back, they're waiting for the shelves to clear, and then they finally do and put it out.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It could be backstock.
Yeah.
And Amazon has had them on sale this week.
Yes, that's
pretty
right.
Deep, pretty deeply discounted.
For sure. Yeah, I mean the first order tie has been down to like $11 a couple times. So hopefully they do that again. And I really want them to do that with the Series 2 TIE Fighter, man. Like, that's what I'm really waiting on. It's like, let's get that thing down to $11 and I'll get a handful of those.
That's the battle damage one?
The battle damage one, yeah. If nothing else, just for the blinds, because there's, I think I only saw one case ever. And that was it. So Cole, how about Series 4?
Oh man, no change since last week. I think when we ran through, I haven't seen anything new pop up this week in terms of Series 4. I'm sure it's going to be the same kind of deal as Series 3, with Targets getting in new product right now, pushing out Series 5. My guess is some warehouses or some Target back rooms, whatever it is, there will be some cases that were just lingering that will get put out on shelves. So hopefully somebody comes across a wedge or something cool like that.
Sure.
I know light armor is still hitting Walmarts and still making its way across the country. So go into your Walmart and show them the barcode and ask them to order more, because they can do that if you're nice enough.
Nice. Now, is that just any rep that you see on the floor, or you have to find somebody specific?
They should be able to do it. They should be able to place an order. It has to get an approval process. There's a couple levels of approvals, but I've had 2 or 3 people mention to me this week that they were successful in getting it started.
Gotcha.
One person orders them all the time, I believe, that way. So
nice.
If you're upset you're not seeing new stuff, ask them if they can order more. They have the power. Whether they'll do it or not, that's up in the air. But
probably better off speaking to somebody in electronics. I tried someone at the front end, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't do that." And she had the same scanner that someone in electronics did. I'm like, okay, well, that was the time.
Yeah, I would say for sure it seems like Walmart, with talking to anybody that works there in terms of getting anything done, is probably like a 25% success or less.
Walmart, I don't even bother. The people just don't want to help you there.
Yeah. At Target, I would say the success rate is much higher.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to find people at Walmart.
Gosh,
man, especially when I'm there, at least at night when they're bringing the pallets out.
Yeah.
Usually by the time I show up at night to check the pallets, there's no one there.
Wow, no kidding. Yeah, I see people there all the time. There are always Walmart employees walking around, just like, I don't even know what they're doing, but yeah. And then Series 5, so it seems like part of what the distribution here with Series 5 has been is to get the chases and rares out early in a lot of the case packs. So certainly seems like we've got a ton of those that have been out there in the market. All of the secondary market costs for the Holo X-Wing as well as the V-Wing are really low now. So I've seen a handful. I almost picked up another Holo for like almost $45 or $50 on secondary market. So that's pretty good, as well as
coming way down
$30, which is really where I think a lot of those things should be anyways. So anybody that has missed out on it, I wouldn't be worried about paying a little extra for that market to be able to grab that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool for sure.
Helmy sent me a message today saying somebody did a best offer on, I think it was eBay, It was sold on March 9th for the Holo X-Wing, $15.
Nice. That's great.
And the shipping was just a hair under $5. So,
boom, crushing it. Yeah, man, deals are out there to be found for sure. I did see New Zealand actually just got some as well. So they just got Series 5. Somebody just posted a review on our page that found one. So, Helmy, if you're out there, there should be some coming to you here soon, or somewhere over in your area. And
I was going to mention too, 3 and 4. I saw Bantha Tracks posted that UK Midco Toys and Toy Planet in the UK got in Series 3 and Series 4 stuff, which is awesome for UK people that are starved for new stuff. Hopefully there's more and more headed that way, and retailers are picking it up over there.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, I feel like with Amazon potentially being like the litmus test for the most part, they seem to do really well. I think they probably over-ordered on the front end. It certainly seems like here on the back end with Series 4 and 5, they've decreased their orders, so they seem to be kind of flying out of there, and occasionally things are popping up. The one thing to be careful of on Amazon, though, is the secondary market. So there are some third-party sellers that are getting on there and selling stuff for way over what the retail is. So you just have to be conscious of that. You can typically tell when you go into the actual listing and you see sold by, it would obviously say Amazon.com if it's sold by Amazon or if it's sold by somebody else. So just keep an eye out for that. And then we've got Series 5 Scout class is still out there. I have been like super dry up in this area for whatever reason. I've seen one case that I got, and then other than that, I've seen a bunch of open boxes. Unfortunately, the open boxes don't have the figures that I want. If they did, I did pick up a couple. There were a few open boxes. I was like, oh, great, I'll take these. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm hoping that we get those all restocked. The Scout class seems to just sell out so fast.
Well, you've got a Boba Fett on the way.
Oh, thanks, Cole. You are the man. You are the man. He is the one. I'm waiting for that one to go through and do the last 4 reviews that I need to do for the Scout class.
Oh, man. Well, it's on the way.
Thanks for doing that, man.
Next week by the time it's there, but
that's cool. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Some of the pictures that I've seen look pretty sick.
Yeah, man. I see so much, not so much, but there's a lot of negativity towards the blind boxes, which some of it's potentially warranted depending on where you fall on that.
Yeah.
But as much as people hate on it, it's always the thing that sells before anything else.
I know.
They're almost always gone, and a ton of people buy the whole case.
Yep.
They don't last long. Hot Topic gets in there 1 case per store, and they're gone in the first week. So people wise up to the fact that they're there, and then you get like your Targets will have the the PDQ with like the 1 or 2 boxes left in it that are cracked open.
Yep.
And those will hang around for a while, but they sell so fast. So they definitely have there's no reason for them to stop doing them. That people are not speaking with their wallets if they don't like that.
The blind boxes over here that seems to sit on the shelves, they'll take a couple, but whole cases are still there. The GameStop I went to that was on the other side of the state over the weekend, I mean, the Series 2 was December, and they still had a Series 2 blind box case. Only 3 were taken. And it's, what are we, middle of March now, towards the end?
This is Series 2?
Series 2?
Oh, I'm sorry, Series 3. Series 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, Series 3 hit pretty hard, I think. I saw a lot of Series 3.
Yeah.
So those are probably some of the least desired ones at this point, I would assume.
Right.
Just with how available they've been in the bundles on Amazon. Tons of stores got in those blinds, like grocery stores had those, Box Lunch had those, Hot Topic, Books a Million, probably everybody had
Yes.
Series 3, so it makes sense if there's some of those kind of hanging around still.
Yeah.
But yeah, Series 2 seems to be the ones that just wasn't a ton of Series 2 in general out there. So
Sure.
And I
Same thing with
checked.
Series 4, though. I mean, Series 4 hasn't, I mean, that's been another one where it's like they hit a couple and then that was it.
at least on the secondary market, I feel like the those 3-packs that were on Amazon kind of helped out
Mm,
Series 4 because so many people bought out all of those 3-packs that were kind of a ripoff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Well,
only,
But
hopefully.
chases and rares aplenty in those, so who knows who rip off is in the eye of the beholder, because I cleaned up pretty good with those.
Yep.
and I only checked that GameStop. I was seeing if there was another chase in there, but it's just a Series 2 bow along with the Series 3 blind boxes. So I know it's on the other side of the state and it's on like a little island, but still, like it's been sitting there since December probably. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
And I believe they just marked them down at some of the stores.
They did.
I noticed GameStop kind of chopped the price on some of those blind boxes somewhere. I think they're
Yeah.
like $3.99
Yeah.
at all or some of the stores.
Yeah. I've seen that as well. It was $3.89 at one near me.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately,
it's Series 3, and I
yeah.
just don't need them. I've got an extra like whole case or two of those, I think, still.
Yeah. Um,
I got
so
so many
hopefully we
snow
get.
troopers through trades.
I know. Yeah. So I did hear a while back to not worry about the snow trooper, that we're going to get more. So I'm hoping that here in series 6 or 7 we get a snow trooper as just a common figure
Battle damaged.
on a battle damage speeder would be perfect. Battle damage white speeder, that would be awesome. So that way we can really fill out those AT-ATs. I know a lot of people want that. And that's it for Series 5, man. So now we're getting into the really important stuff that I'm sure people tuned in about, which we've got 3 big things, obviously: Vault, ATTE, and Ghost. So, Dave, you want to kick us off with Vault?
Sure. Vault. So that is actually coming March 27th. We actually got some confirmation. That's going to come on the 27th. They're saying 9 a.m. Pacific time, so that's 12 Eastern, supposedly. The Hoth AT-AT set is going to be dropping, so that's going to be with the AT-AT and the 2 snow speeders. You have Luke's and then Zev Sinenska, along with the driver, General Veers again, which I'm a little bit surprised, and 2 snow troopers again. Just going to read off some of the details from the walker here. It says, highly detailed set depicts Luke Skywalker's daring defense of Echo Base from The Empire Strikes Back. Fly into battle an Imperial AT-AT walker that features electronic lights and sounds, an articulated head and legs, multiple play zones, and more. Pack also includes 2 speeder bikes, Hoth, with display stands and 8 1-inch articulated microfigure accessories to pilot each vehicle. And the price was actually $110. It got bumped down to $100. So is it? And this is still an exclusive, correct?
Oh yeah.
Like one of like 3,000, I believe.
Yep.
Yep, one of 3,000.
So I was just prepping for the show. I noticed for the first time, not the same Luke that came with the original AT-AT. This is just a straight pilot Luke with no lightsaber.
Oh, nice. Very
Updated
nice.
helmet, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so it'll be an updated helmet Luke, but just a pilot, not one
Mauricio,
that'll
if you
fit
could keep
in the
it on
saber.
that, if you keep it on the pilots there for just a moment. So they screwed this up here. So Zev Sinenska is supposed to be on the right because he's got that darker helmet. And they have it labeled as Kit Valant, who's the gunner, but next to it says pilot. So they get all things screwed up there.
Yeah.
So Kit Valant is supposed to be on the left. So,
well, in that image, I think the other thing that's really cool about it, well, the one thing that's cool is that you're getting a bunch of named figures instead of
yes.
just like a rebel pilot. But you can also see the panel lining that they did on this one, as well as just the snow effect, which looks pretty cool. I mean, the panel lining
So
looks
good.
really nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that really makes that pop a lot more than the previous one. I hope that in this model, the ratchet joints and everything still function pretty good. One of the things that we've seen with the V wing here, the whatever the shadow V wing, is that with that wash applied to it, the wing mechanism kind of sticks. So hopefully it's not like all gunked up in there. But it does look really nice. You get the orange markings on the snow speeder. All of the same features as what you had in the previous one, which is totally fine. But it looks really, really cool.
Hopefully the neck issue has been fixed, but we'll see.
Can't imagine it has, but it'd be
Yeah,
great if
I
it
would
was.
say more than likely that won't be the case, but we could always hope. And then the other thing too about this, and this is one of the things that's important, is there is going to be an order limit on Vault. So it's not like you're going to be able to go in here and get 5 of these things.
We don't know what that limit is.
Yes, I
It
haven't
could be
heard what the
5.
limit is,
I
but
hope
I
it's
did.
1 or 2. Hopefully 1. I mean, 1 would be ideal. I get,
Yeah.
2 is nice. If there were more of them, 2 would be nice for 1 to open, 1 to keep boxed.
Yeah.
But with this production run of them, man, I hope it's 1 for the sake of everybody that wants one. I'm
For
also
sure.
just in general, I'm kind of shocked that they're dropping all of their brands exclusives at the same time at the same day, especially for their first drop. So I
Yeah.
hope the servers and checkout system and everything holds up. I probably would have done it kind of, I would have maybe done a brand a day next week.
Yeah.
Is what I would have done. So you didn't have every fan of every brand they have hitting the website all at once, refreshing over and over and over again when they don't necessarily have a proven e-commerce site. That so
Yeah. I'm really
hopefully
worried about getting payment information in there fast enough to be able to check out.
Yeah. And hopefully they prevent it against bots too.
Yeah, agreed.
See,
Yeah.
they screwed up on this.
I know I knew you were gonna say that. Whoever their graphics guy is, they got it right when they released the ship. It was all right. Whoever did the graphic swapped the text for the speeders there.
Yeah.
So it says Luke speeder with the orange one, and then it
Yep.
says an
Should be the other way
exclusive
around.
speeder with the one that's been out since Series 2. But yeah, they swapped those
The
accidentally.
orange one does have battle damage on it as well. So you can kind of see it in that picture that top right side has got a huge blaster burn mark on it. So you can see it in that picture right there if you zoom in up on the top one, on the orange one. There's that one engine part right there on the other side of the cockpit is black. Yeah, that area.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I
there's
obviously saw the scoring on the front, but hadn't noticed that.
there was another image of it that's got a huge, like there's a gigantic black spot there from a blaster burn.
Kind of wish there was some actual battle damage, like on the battle damage ties from Series 2.
It might be, but I'm not sure.
It sure doesn't look like it. Yeah, man, it would be cool. I agree, because that Series 2 tie is so cool with the molded damage.
Yeah.
I gave the Hot Wheels line some crap because their battle damaged vehicles just had the paint.
Yeah.
At the time those were
nice.
at the time those were coming out and the
Yeah.
Series 2 tie was coming out, I was like, look, Micro Galaxy is actually molded, and now we're getting some that it's the same. It's just some printed on scoring.
Then you've got another exclusive dropping at the same time, which is probably less desirable. So I think of the two, obviously one of them is going in the cart faster than the other one.
especially after our conversation about Series 3 blinds probably being some of the most common.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Series 3 blind box, and it comes in like a nice collector's case there. So Series 3 for the blind boxes, that's going to be First Order Tread Speeder, Solo Patrol Trooper, Stormtrooper on E-Web, Tech on Bark, Tusken on Speeder, Snowtrooper, Dooku, and Cad Bane.
Yep. Yeah, the imaging of this looks really nice, and the case design looks really cool as well.
It's awesome, yeah. And that
They
the art, just having that full art for the wave out like that is really, really cool.
Yeah, the funny thing is there was another member somewhere out there that made a case that looks almost the same as this, which was really funny that they designed something that was very similar. It obviously doesn't have the closing top or anything like that, but it was displayed just like this, where you could put the actual blind case, like the plastic case blister pack in there, and it showed it like this, which was pretty funny when I saw this. But it does look nice. I mean, for $60, it's not a bad deal. I think a lot of people were under the impression that when this came out and you had the ability to purchase the whole Series 3 collection, that it was going to be like everybody can get it, which obviously that's not the case. This will be a 1 in 15,000.
1,500.
I'm sorry, 1,500. Yeah. So very, very limited run of this, which is disappointing, man. It's like,
Getting...
I will say the other cool thing about the packaging and that art is you can't see it in the photo, but if you go online and find an unboxing or a video of it, there is the same foil print to that art that the that 2-pack from 2 Christmases ago had.
Oh, okay, gotcha. On the front?
Evasive, the evasive action pack, how that's kind of a foil packaging. This on the back is that same foil look,
nice,
with the art on it, and it just looks really, really nice. The packaging team and the art team, Olivia and everybody, just killed it on this.
And it's one each, correct? One figure each?
Yes. Yep.
So interesting too that I guess Jeremy said they're going to be doing monthly drops.
Ooh.
So we're just getting the one class. So
yeah,
my guess is now we're just going to go down the line and say April we get light armor for Series 3. That might be how this goes.
Yeah.
Like each month we'll be getting one class size in the wave.
That would be sweet. I hope we get announced.
I did know, when they announced this, it was $50. So for like about 30 minutes, I thought, man, that's awesome. We're saving $10 on the AT-AT. And then I realized they just added the $10 to this set. So they just moved it around, shifted it around a little bit. Same. You're spending the same amount of money. Just they moved it around.
Sadly, Jazzwares weren't there tonight. Only Hasbro experience, which is still awesome. And we get a closer look at the N1 again. Harry, I see your comment just popped in there about being at the Imperial March event and that Jazzwares wasn't there. That's crazy. It must have been just like a one-day thing then, just yesterday.
Jazzwares was there just yesterday, I believe. There's still some of them are staying for a little bit longer.
But. Yes, we have lots of great pictures we're going to be showing here shortly. You can find tons on the Jazzware Instagram page as well. And then Toying Around is another one that has some great pictures of the Ghost, as well as like a video, which we'll be showing a lot of that stuff here in just a minute. So yeah, I hope that Vault continues to show off some of those things and gives us a little bit of notice on when they're going to come out, and has the protection against the bots. I mean, gosh, how bad would that suck if it opens up and you can't get it?
Knowing they have a limit, I feel a little bit better about it. I'm more concerned with the traffic in the site just crashing, and even Pulse has been around how many years now, and they occasionally will have an issue with either their site or more often the 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 checkout process
Yeah.
will lock up and have issues, and they've done things like add a queue and things like that. So maybe they've done all that, and we'll see. I definitely hope they've kind of done their homework on some of that and added in a lot of those features to accommodate how much traffic they're going to get.
I feel
Yeah.
like they should hold off on the AT-AT set for like a couple days. Like maybe have the Series 3 blind boxes go live and see if that goes well first. I mean, the site doesn't crash. See how that does. And then maybe wait a couple days or so and then release the Hoth set. Because I hate to log in and then the site crashes.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about what's the bigger brand that they're launching. I mean, uh, all of the wrestling AEW fans that are going to be, the AEW stuff may be more popular than some of the micro galaxy stuff. So a lot of this dropping at the same time it's going to be insane because you've got 4 or 5 brands, I believe, with stuff at the same time.
Right.
There's AEW, whatever, the Ring of Heroes wrestling stuff, Call of Duty's in there.
Fortnite.
No Fortnite, no Halo this time. Kind of a bummer for Halo fans, but I have seen they're including Halo at least in some of their imagery. So hopefully there's more Halo stuff down the road.
Yeah. Any other questions out there on Vault before we move on?
No confirmation on international access to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the press in kind of that interview press release, whatever you want to call it, with comicbook.com, Jeremy did mention time zones and when people would be accessing it, and he kind of mentioned if you're in the UK, it'll be nighttime or 9:00 at night, something like that. I don't know if by the time he got to that he was just joking.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was him sort of confirming that it'll be global.
Yeah, I know that
my
was
guess would be surely they will not do international right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Just logistically, that seems kind of crazy, but who knows?
Yep. In the interview that we had done previously before we got, and this is again like August of last year, it was not going to be international at the onset of the release, but the plans were to have it international. So, I would say for those international people that are going to miss out here on the first round of this, I mean, it looks like you're probably only missing out on the AT-AT. I mean, Scout class stuff should be out there and pretty readily available. It just wouldn't be in that collector's pack. So, want to talk AT-AT or ATTE? The ATTE. I always want to say that.
And one last thing on the Vault, it's not a paid subscription. You just kind of log in, buy your stuff, and hope for the best.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go in there and buy something early just to make sure I get all my information saved in. So that way it's an easy checkout process.
Squishmallow.
I do need to get some. The kids would love to get some Squishmallows, I'm sure. So here is what the display looks like at the Imperial March. It's just like a kiosk there in the middle of a lobby is what it looks like, which I think is really funny that that's the way it's set up.
Yeah, and this was all Wednesday, correct? Did this all happen on Wednesday?
As far as I know.
For the most part?
Here is a picture of the and just pause it right there. So that little gasket there right in the middle of that thing looks super familiar.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, if it's going to be the same thing as the AT-AT.
I sure hope not. But that's a great picture with that zoom in there. You can see some, laser burns there. It's got the panel lining on it as well, which looks really nice.
It's going to broken.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same stuff. I can't imagine they sourced a whole new part. It does look like there's weathering in it, which is interesting.
Yep, I do.
It looks
see
like
that.
the wash made it to the little rubber part. Maybe they'll protect it.
Maybe it will
from the elements. I don't know. Yeah, this was wild. It felt like all the Vault stuff was nuts that they dropped on us, and then out of nowhere they started posting ATTE images on social.
Yeah.
Then come to find out it's because it's going to be at this Star Wars wide, the brand wide event in New York, Empire State Building. So since they're bringing product to that event, I guess it made sense for them to go ahead and officially reveal some of this product. So the ATT just popped up on their socials out of nowhere with some photos from Mark that I think are after this that look
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
And the great thing about this too, so we don't have a picture yet of the interior, but we do know that this does open. That they're similar to some of these other bigger vehicles. That it does open, and there is seating for other figures, and then there's some other play features on the inside.
Yeah, I think it looks similar to the way that the Lego version of this works.
Mm.
Now, I read somebody said that Captain Rex comes with this. Do we have confirmation on that?
Yeah, well, not confirmation, but it definitely looks like that's him in the gunner seat on the next images.
It's an ARC trooper of some sort.
Of
Yeah, if you want to
this.
go to the next image there, Mauricio.
My guess would be they just repacked the one from series.
Yeah, there you go. And the other great thing about this, with the old Action Fleet ATTE, you obviously could not fit a pilot in it, but the cockpit looks big enough there to be able to fit a pilot in. So when you look at this from a scale perspective, those people that are like huge scale people, this thing is not going to be in scale. So bummer.
It's a little undersized yet. To me, like I've said before, it looked like it was about as long as the AT-AT is.
Yeah.
Obviously being much, much shorter.
Right. But I would imagine we're going to get the ratcheting legs in all of this the same way that the AT-AT ratchets. It's got tons of the guns there, the rotating guns on the front, and you can see obviously the pilot sitting up there, or the gunner sitting up on the top. Looks really, really cool. I mean, these images are awesome, and this
he killed it.
Do we know how many figures that could fit in there?
In the actual vehicle or in the box?
In the actual vehicle.
No idea yet. Once we get a chance to see the interior, obviously we'll have an idea. I would imagine you can fit 2 figures or 1 in that front. It looks like you could probably put 2 in it, similar to what you'd have in the LAAT gunship. And then I think this comes with 4 figures, 4 or 5.
Okay.
And this is going to be the same as from the description that we had gotten previously. This is the Dreadnought class, which is essentially an assault class vehicle that doesn't have lights and sounds. So this should be, again, pretty big. You can see the size of the
$49.99, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And you can see the size of the figure there right next to the leg. I mean, it looks like it's standing right next to that front leg. So call that 5 inches tall, maybe, all the way to the top of that gun. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at how deep it is, and there's a guy on a bark. I wonder if it's going to come with a speeder as well. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it seems, I wish Mark was in chat tonight. It seems a little odd to include it in the picture if it doesn't come with it.
Yeah, right.
My gut would be, if you're going to do these images, you only include what comes with it. Yep. Or you make it very obvious by including a lot of stuff. Sure. You throw a whole lot of extra vehicles and figures in the photo, so that it's obvious that it's not just the one thing. Hopefully this is it, and it comes with one. It's another way for them to throw in an extra clone trooper, because it does come with 5. At least the packaging at Toy Fair had 5. So,
yeah, well, it's pretty sweet.
There's Mauricio, can you go up to the cannon at the top and see if Rex is up there? To me, it looks like Rex.
Oh man, could be
just
there's some other things on this that
open first
too. There's like a side panel that opens, and so yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see what this actually looks like in hand.
Again, look at the weathering even on that ball turret there
I know.
on the
It's good.
side. This stuff has come a long way. That's
For
awesome.
sure. Looks way better than the guns on the front of the gunships.
Yep, that's what I was just thinking. I mean, it adds a lot. And to me, the tone of this wash is dead on.
Yeah, agreed.
Sometimes it's not totally dead on, as we'll see in a second, but this like panel lining looks really, really, really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And even with the AT-AT, I love it. It looks amazing. My preference would have been a slightly grayer, lighter wash for the panel lining.
Hmm. Yeah, look at that. They even got the laser burn there on the front of that cannon too, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah. This is so cool. They did a great job. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I hope we're going to get a couple of versions of this one. That would be cool for them to do something similar to what they did with the gunship, where you get, a couple different colors. But I'm going to need a couple of those. That thing looks sick.
Yeah, at the price point, I doubt we're going to get a Rebels version of it. I mean, it's not the price point at the scale that it's at. We're probably not going to get a Rebels version.
Right.
Do we know the price point on this one?
I think it's $49.99.
Oh,
yeah, agreed. I think that's right. Yeah, gosh, man, look at that thing.
I want to say Max mentioned that a while back.
Right.
And the info and target system, I think, also has this at $49.99. And I know I see chat talking a lot about it. Target and Walmart both have Series 6, and Walmart has Series 7 in their systems. So a lot of those waves are out there now. I probably won't post about it until it's official, but
yeah,
if you're curious, a lot of that's out there.
Interesting.
For sure. More coming.
Walmart even added Rare and Chase to the titles so that you kind of have an idea of what's going to be hard to find.
Fantastic.
Did they put the names of the vehicles on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all. I've seen it all. I can't unsee it.
You're talking about at Walmart or Target, not the stuff that you and I were talking about, right?
This is as of today. Somebody sent me something earlier today. I've seen I've got a whole lineup of.
Yeah.
I see it now.
Series 7. There's 3 or 4.
I tried to send it in the chat, but it's a chat service unavailable. So, but it's there.
Yeah, if you want to be spoiled, it's out there apparently.
Somebody just posted it on here. Yep.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, I don't really know how to handle that stuff anymore, but
wow,
it's out awesome. There. My hands are clean, so it's out there if you want to see them. It's there.
Series 7.
Yeah, hey, they're not sending me free stuff, so I guess I can post whatever.
Yeah, Series 6 in
there.
there.
You don't want to ruin that, though. You don't want to ruin
Phantom.
that.
Hey, it does say Phantom with Ezra and Chopper.
It does. I was going to drop that there when we started talking about the Ghost.
Yeah, it seems like the series numbers though might be mixed up here.
Phantom, not a rare or a chase.
Correct.
At least in the system.
Yeah.
But hey, Walmart has insane stuff in their system. It's like old stuff that may not even be relevant anymore. So who knows? I would say take all of it with a grain of salt. It also says spoilers. One of them says TIE Whisper, and that's not what we saw in the Series 5 lineup. We saw the TIE Silencer. Is that right?
Correct.
So it seems weird to me that they scrapped the Silencer and then made the Whisper, and that's what's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
So I would. It's more likely that just got mixed somehow. So I would say take a lot of that with a little bit of a decent grain of salt, because who knows? I mean, we've seen the listings on Walmart that have images that look like they were thrown together 2 years ago in Photoshop in about 2 seconds. So it's like mock packaging, at like the most basic, the old Ewing image. That Ewing image was insane.
Yeah, right.
Where they just drag and dropped a couple things, like Microsoft Paint.
Right.
And that was the item image. So who knows, who knows what's real and what's not. But
Yeah, because that
if you're curious, jump onto one of the Facebook groups, and I'm sure it's all up there now, and everybody will be
that last photo says TIE Fighter Gray, but Armada Edition.
Yeah, the Armada edition, that was what we thought was coming earlier, but the Armada is supposed to be like a tried true standard vehicle that's going to come out with the new deco. So it could just be a standard TIE Fighter with the new paint scheme that we got in Series 2 that's not a battle damage, that has the updated pilot with helmet on it.
That's my guess, is that's all it is. And it's going to be a way to they're going to spread those series out even more, I would guess. With some of them, those will be packed in the case assortments.
Yeah. Which isn't terrible. I mean,
I get it. I mean, people that are new to the line only can buy it on clearance. So let's put the new stuff out there at retail price.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and even the first image.
No, some of it is. I especially with stuff like Series 2, I get it. And eventually Series 1 will maybe not be as easy to find one day. So I definitely get the idea behind it. So
I know, Damon. I'm thinking the same thing. I've got all of my shelves over here. Seeing the Ghost in there, I'm just thinking about how am I going to organize these shelves so that I can fit 2 or 3 Ghosts up there on the shelf. So I don't know.
Buy a farm.
Yeah,
huge one. Yeah.
Although I've got to be able to hide it down here, otherwise my wife's going to kill me. So
there was an image too of Blue Leader that was posted as well. So is that going to get re-released, or is that just
the what?
That post had
it does show Blue Leader in there. I don't know what that is.
I was under I thought there was a blue Resistance alien.
Yes, there is. There's also a blue X-Wing.
That could be Carson Teva.
It could be Carson Teva.
Spoilers.
It's the Ghost. Rare. That's apparently what it is. Yeah, so let's talk about the Ghosts. I am super excited about the Ghost, man. Super excited. I was like...
First impressions. You see it, and what was your first thought?
My first thought was I need to go to the bathroom because I'm going to mess myself. Yeah, no, when I first saw this, I was like, no freaking way. No way. And not only that, but like when they pan over and you've got the ATTE up against the box and they pan over and see it, and the colors on the thing, man, they just pop out of that box. It looks so good.
Dave?
Yeah.
I have no interest in this. I'm sorry.
I wondered if that's where I thought that might be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm happy for everybody that wanted this. Like, good for them, but it's a pass for me. I have no.
Dave taking a bathroom break.
Yeah, I have no attachment to this at all.
Yeah, so I've got
It does look really nice, though. I just feel like the gray. I'm sorry, not the gray. The green is a little too much, a little bit too prominent there. It just kind of sticks out a little bit.
I totally get people that don't love the ship. I love Rebels, so I love the ship because of Rebels. Yeah. I don't love the ship because it's the coolest looking design or toy. I don't think it's that attractive of a design.
It looks very similar to the Aliens Narcissus.
Yes.
It's like the same thing, which is so funny.
No, if this was an Outrider, I'd be all for it.
I've seen some people a little mixed on that paint job for sure, but with the like I'd mentioned earlier, the wash, it looks like a black that they used. I think a dark gray would be a little more palatable with this. It's just a little too much contrast. Let me start off by saying it's amazing. I love it. They killed it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love everything about this. I don't want to immediately go in on anything else. It's so cool. I will day one buy it. I will buy any version they release of it. They did an incredible job with this.
Yeah.
That being said, I could do with a slightly grayer wash that they used to like line every single thing on the ship. And the colors, I've seen a lot of people mention a little saturated. But that's fine. None of that actually bothers me. That's just what I would have done. The only minor actual gripe I have with the whole ship is if you look in that cockpit. Oh man, I wish they had done Sabine's seat. Just painted Sabine's chair.
Yeah. Now, I don't think the cockpit is laid out exactly like that, is it? Is it laid out like that in the show? I feel like it's not.
Pretty close, I believe. They've got the I don't know if that's the gunner's chair down there lower, but I think that's fairly accurate.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, I like that they've got that. I was wondering whether or not they were going to do that with the little hatch that opens below the cockpit. And then, yeah, with the seats all look great. You got the little peg in there for Chopper to be able to fit in the cockpit as well. The gunner port on the top was like a huge, like, hell yeah, that they actually have that where you can put a figure in it, which looks really awesome. And then the detail, this is the first Micro Galaxy vehicle that we'll have that has stickers. So it does the interior there on the right side is pretty amazing that with the interior that they have like even the doors that open, they've got like the open doors and then they have the closed doors that actually look more like a door instead of in the AT-AT.
Do we think those move?
I was trying to see it. I don't think that they do.
I was gonna say, do we think those will slide open and shut?
Yeah, that would be sick, but I don't think it does.
So look at this. This was the craziest thing about that display.
Yeah,
is they freaking docked Y-wings on the side of the ship.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are those the stickers?
The decals are so cool. All of Sabine's artwork looks amazing.
Yeah, that was a nice touch for Sabine's room.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you can see there with the door on the left, it doesn't open. I'm 98% positive. It was the same thing with the doors in the other part of the interior. Mauricio, if you've got one of those other pictures of the interior, you can kind of tell. That's another one that's got a great art scene on it. There's another one that I saw that that door that's right at the very bottom of that image, it's almost got like a little thing at the bottom, so it won't slide.
I know there's stickers, but I mean that may be more like detail going on in there than the HasLab has.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit of a cop out because they can slap just a much smaller sticker on the wall. But sure. I don't remember the HasLab having all those murals on the inside and that artwork and graffiti inside the ship.
Yeah, you can see there. That's the picture I was looking at on the far right side, where you can see that door doesn't slide. That would be sweet if it did, but
it'd be amazing.
But yeah, you can see it on the very top of the picture, right by that the word crazy there on the far right is where that docking mechanism is. And I was looking at that earlier, but that has got it's got the port for the droid, and that's how you plug it in. So you should be able to attach X-wings to it.
Any ship that has a droid port should be able to fit onto that attachment.
Right, which is really cool because then you can get the Jedi Interceptors, you can get the Jedi Starfighters, X-Wings, all of that stuff to attach to this, which is amazing. I didn't even, I never even in my wildest dreams would have imagined that they'd have that. And then when I saw that picture, somebody else posted a picture of the scene from the show where the Y-Wings are docked on the side like that. And I was like, wow, that is sick,
it's just that's such an awesome detail.
Yeah.
That to have a thoughtful feature to have put in there. It's
and then they've got
cool.
They've got the hallway here. They've got the cabins. Like that was the thing I was really interested to see on the interior. Obviously, a lot of the show takes place in the ship, where they're either in one of their quarters, or they're in that room that's at the back of it where they have the table, or they're in the cargo bay. So that's one where you get that door that opens down on the front, which is pretty sweet. The only thing I wish that they did with this, and man, I hope they get to creatures and we get a puffer pig. That would be awesome. A puffer pig and a Lando. That's what we need. Oh, man.
I think the Phantom comes with a Lando.
Yeah, right. But man, that is so sick. So here's the Narcissus.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Next to the Ghost. This was the X-Wings version of the Ghost. But yeah, then there's the...
Does this have electronics?
It was interesting, too, that there's two versions at the show.
Yeah.
So there's the one that's in the display, which looks very much like a prototype. And then there's this one and the one that they photographed in the packaging that I think might be closer to a production sample that might be done. There's several, the paint scheme is fairly different on the two versions, and the hinge on the cockpit is very, very different.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how the cockpit opens on this one, but on the display, there's a very clear hinge breaking up the red on the front of that ship. So interesting that they brought two different, maybe one's a prototype and one's a little later production sample. Or somewhere along the way. I'm not sure how close they are to
there you can see
having
right
a final sample.
See the door on the right side? See how it's stuck down into the floor?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, or right at the opening into the room on the right. Yeah, right almost there. Go a little more to the right. Right there. That spot. You can see where it's hooked into the floor.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even the stickers, man. I don't even care. The fact that they add that much detail to the interior is just awesome. That's just
so the big question is pre-assembled or sticker sheet?
Oh God, I hope they put the stickers on it. I do not want to be.
Me too. I have the big Falcon TVC, and I've never put the stickers on because I'm too anal about it. I'm terrified of putting it on incorrectly and then trying again and it not being sticky anymore, and it never goes on quite right. So I've never put them on because I'm just terrified of doing it wrong.
Or trying to take the sticker off and then you rip it.
Yeah, I think I did the ones on the Slave 1. Yeah. I think I got those stickers on, but I never even attempted see, look at the hinge on that. Very different than the other sample. You can see the panels on the side there are not painted, whereas they're a dark gray on the in-hand sample people were playing with.
Yeah. True.
Just kind of interesting. Yeah, I can't tell who's in the can we see who's in the gunner seat up there?
It's Sabine. That's Kanan in there.
Sabine's in the gunner seat. It looked orange to me almost, but
yeah, it's the orange shoulder.
Okay. And I assume this is a straight repaint of the Sabine from Series 2.
Yeah. From the picture that they showed the front of the box, it looked like it was the same exact figure.
It looks like Series 1, right? Zeb looked like he was Series 1. There's the Phantom 1 with the wings curled up.
Yeah, and there's those little clips there on the bottom. Clip that thing into the port on the back.
Yeah,
and there's
and
chopper too.
that is Starfighter class. So it'll be $15, and it comes with Ezra and Chopper.
Man, how great is it that we're actually getting the Rebels crew and not
Yeah,
getting
it's
the
amazing. It
Ahsoka
looks
crew?
like Chopper's in the top there.
Yep,
Look at him up there. Oh, that's so cool,
that is so cool.
man.
And the wings on this one, on that, do come out too. They do fold
Mhm.
out to the side. So we saw the silhouette of that at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, man, that's sick. And I think, gosh, you've got to have it on that type of vehicle where you can open it up and put the figures in the back as well, like a storage compartment on the back of the Phantom.
Mm-hmm. Especially at that size.
Right.
And I'm glad, it's only $5, so I'm glad that they went with the slightly larger class size so that we can get those two figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you only have to buy the one Phantom and you've got the whole crew, I believe, right?
Yep.
And as far as we know, that is not listed as a common or a rare.
Right.
So it should be a normal release in Series 6 with the Ghost that's also Series 6.
Well, that was one of the things that they definitely were adamant about, that they were not going to be doing chases and rares in the light armor or starfighter class as new molds, that they would be all redecos of some sort. So that is nice to see that they're going to be sticking with that, especially if the listings that are on Walmart are accurate, and you get another Jedi starfighter, and you get a Resistance A-wing as the chase and the rare. Like, it's
Tally. There she is. We're getting her.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
just pushed her back. They just pushed her back a wave or two.
Yep, and then you got potentially the Night Brother gauntlet with Maul, which is going to be sick, man. That is going to be sick.
Rare.
Yeah, that's great that it's a rare 101 in 15, because that'll be pretty easy for everybody to get. And then the As Your Angel was another one that was hinted at potentially being in there. That would probably be the chase, I would guess. Although that is like
Maybe
totally
it's a lot of
tool.
new. It's a lot of new tooling on that to do it. If they do it accurately, it's a lot of new tooling. And why would you ever make Anakin a chase? I don't know.
Same with Jedi Luke.
I don't know why you'd make Vader a rare, but
Right.
yeah,
totally agree.
There's some cool stuff coming. There's a lot of really niche stuff coming. So I don't know. I'm a little bit worried just because of how specific and deep they've gotten with some of Series 6 and 7. Maybe that is part of the reason Armada class is going to be packed in with those. They can at least have some, very general crowd pleasers packed in with some of those more really obscure vehicles that are headed.
Yeah, I would say, David, there, I would not imagine Sacy 10 to be a common. That will likely be a chase or a rare. That would be my guess, because it's a repaint. So that's an easy way for them to get a chase and a rare into the line without. Now, the other thing, too, is even with all of the listings, like we said earlier, that are out there and people can find them, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what's coming. So
100%.
Similar to what we found with Series 5, where it was kind of like, okay, we kind of have this rough idea of what's happening from what was described in Celebration. All of a sudden things started coming out, and then it's like, well, wait a second. Even as far as the Scout class, we didn't even know what the deal was with that until we got the collector's guide. So hopefully there's going to be more information with this as we keep moving along, and there will actually be a reveal of Series 6, so that way we get a chance to see what's actually coming. Based on what we've seen so far, probably not, but let's
I'm not optimistic.
Yeah. The one thing I'm the most excited to find out is just when. I think there's two whens for me.
Yeah.
One is, when are we going to get the second half of Series 4? And
If-
then, because we never got the land speeder,
We
and
got
we've only
Biggs.
got the one set of those Royal Guard interceptors, so it's like they only shipped out one portion of it. I feel like we don't have enough Royal Guard
no
interceptors
vultures
out
in
there.
stores. Yeah.
Yeah, no vultures in stores for sure. And so that, I think that's one where it's like, I want to know where the rest of Series 4 is first, and then what do we got coming on Series 6?
The cloud.
Without getting too deep into the leaked stuff, wasn't there an Armada class vulture on that list?
There was. I saw that.
That's a little concerning, right?
Yeah.
Just if
I don't know why.
it's coming out, you know what I mean. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, for sure.
If that's showing back up in a couple waves as an Armada class release because it didn't get put out with Wave 4, I'm suddenly feeling a little more worried about the land speeder and the and Biggs.
I'm
But they've
hoping.
got to get those out there somehow.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're not.
Balls, we'll have 1,500 of them, but yeah, hopefully there's a good way to get those out to people.
For sure.
Hopefully they don't end up like what almost Series 2 did.
Yeah, we'll see. Now, it could be similar to what we had with Series 3, where it was like Series 4 all of a sudden started coming out, and then next thing you know, Series 3 hit in full force. So, there's still a chance, an off chance, but I mean, with some of the stuff getting in the system for Series 6 and 7, I mean, with Series 5 hitting right now, which really should have been around this time, I mean, what are you thinking about Series 6? That's probably got to be summer?
Late summer, yeah. My guess would be like summer. Like it, I hope it's not. I hope it's earlier, but there's a part of me that thinks it could easily be late summer.
But that just seems really odd because what we've had in the past has been when we've started to see packaged samples, it starts hitting stores relatively soon after. I mean, like days to weeks after, not months. When we had when the Grand Army of the Republic first came out and we did the reveal of that, it was like, oh, these are going to be hitting stores in like whatever 3 weeks, and then like 2 days later, somebody found them in California, and then boom, all of a sudden they hit everywhere in like the next week.
Yeah, it's really hard to know with a big promo event like this. I mean, if you're talking about kind of the ATT and Ghost,
yeah,
who knows how far along those production samples are.
sure.
I don't. It would the sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. But I definitely have my expectations tempered that we're probably looking at like late summer for some of that Series 6 stuff, especially the Ghost.
And
I hope it's sooner.
Would make sense relative to the previous waves too. I mean, AT came out kind of similar time frame, like July, August.
Yeah, to me, the wild card is the ATTE. I have no idea when that could hit. It could be, next month or at holiday. It's hard to say.
Sure,
could be tomorrow.
We don't have much to compare it to. There hasn't really been a general release box of that size at the same time as an assault class one. So it'd be interesting. I don't know. It could be at any point, I guess. Hopefully they've got something up their sleeve for May 4th.
Yeah,
this could be it. I don't know what this big event could have been, kind of the May 4th stuff. I would love for them to coordinate some of these pre-orders with May 4th. Like if we could pre-order,
that would be awesome.
The Ghost for May 4th, that would be yeah. That's like Dave was saying. May 4th pre-order with a later summer release would be definitely okay with me.
Gosh, that would be great, man. Could you imagine you could just pre-order the whole wave? Just be like, I don't have to go to the stores at all.
It's hard to imagine.
No more driving.
We did it with Series 4. It's just they never showed up.
Yeah.
Those orders took forever to finally ship. I think it was already on shelves. Target started getting in some of that Series 4 stuff before Amazon shipped those pre-orders. So
Hmm.
I know a lot of those got canceled.
Yep.
So I would love to at least secure an order. Please coordinate with Amazon again.
For sure. It would be nice to get, gosh, man, I just want, like, it's been funny. I've got all the chases and rares up on my wall right here, and they're all in order. And I had this hole there for the Sabine TIE Fighter for a long time, and finally was
Because
able.
you opened the one you had, right, for the review.
Yeah, I opened it like the day I got it.
Yeah.
I opened it. I got that in December of 22. Like, I was one of the first ones that found a Sabine, and so I finally got that, and now it's all like a mishmash. I've got one vehicle from Series 4 up there, although I do have the Royal Guard Interceptor, but I have it up. Royal Guard is Series 4, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. But I've got that up in my hangar display. So yeah, I've got like a bunch of holes here.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day, how it was a little easier to stay up to date for a while.
Right.
And now now that I'm not just way overspending on eBay for some of these,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it really feels like I'm starting to lag behind on some of these. I'm getting a little more frantic. Just in my mind, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm missing. I'm like, I have stuff from Series 3 I'm missing. Series 4, half of those chases aren't here. Yep. Still need to find an Ayla.
I thought you had a lead on Ayla.
We'll see.
Nice.
People reach out. I have leads on a lot of things, but when it comes to the follow through, and I'm not going to like pester people or bother people about stuff. If they want to reach out and make a deal with something, I'll do it. But I'm not going to chase people down for stuff like that. It feels a little weird. So
sure.
Chase.
Hit me up, Jeremy.
So yeah, here is the Series 5 again. The Skiff and the A-Wing have been popping in and out of stock on Amazon. So keep your eyes peeled. Mace popped up there, I think, just for a very brief period of time. I feel like super, super lucky that I was able to pick that one up that I got.
The ones that actually shipped?
Yeah.
All like right 30 away. Of them?
I know. It's crazy.
Legitimately, I think it is actually less than 50 of them that actually shipped out. Just looking at my numbers and stuff on the back end.
Yeah.
Most of those did not ship out from those orders. So haven't shipped out yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was like less than 40 of them actually were shipped from that first order.
Look out, boys. I'm about to scalp that thing and pay for a month of
one of your kids' college.
Yeah, well, I'll pay for a month of school for the kids or something. No.
Yeah, the Vader is also at the was at the event, but I didn't see a whole lot of great pictures of it.
They got
which it doesn't matter with that green light blasting everything. It's not that great anyway. Maybe whenever Paul gets back in town and has a minute and unboxes that treasure trove that he got sent, we'll get some great pictures of Vader's interceptor.
Yeah,
they got those mixed up. The land speeder should be the chase, and the Royal Guard should be the rare. Is this the official guide?
Oh my gosh!
Yes, they did get that mixed up.
I didn't even notice this. This is the official one. This isn't Dave's.
No, this is not. This is not the official. This was actually a post from somebody that was.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll let it slide.
You're absolved. You're absolved, Jazzwares. Well, no, you're not. Series 4 was a mess. You're not absolved. You should have taken that thing down immediately. That thing was a disaster. I do think their Series 5 official collector's guide is correct, though.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
A marked improvement.
And I said last week, too, Series 3 and 4, have you noticed Starfighters was arriving in stores first, and then it was Light Armor following? And that seems to be the case again with Series 5. Light Armor hasn't shown up yet.
Well, Target doesn't have light armor, which is such a mistake by Target. Gosh, I can't believe they don't get that in there.
They've got to pick it back up, surely.
I can't believe that. There's so much space in all of the Targets I've gone to. There's so much space in that section.
Just take one peg from the Ninja Turtles movie,
right,
or something. Let's just grab one more peg, or like whatever the Star Wars. Even if it's still Star Wars, like let's reserve one peg for the walkie-talkies or whatever I saw the other day that aren't selling. And let's put some new light armor stuff up there.
For sure. They should do it. They've got some great stuff, man. And there's
Series 4 is amazing.
So hard to catch a Chaser Rare at a Walmart. I mean,
they've got to do something,
this past
right?
weekend was such an S show because everything showed up all at once. So all you really needed to do was be the one person that was hitting all of the stores in the same day, and you could get all of the stuff.
That's what happened to me on
Damon, I do not have a Holo or a V we can get. Maybe one day. Again, I have lots of leads, but nothing's happened. But you would, I think chases and rares arguably don't work, but I think they've only sort of worked because you had two major retailers stocking them on shelves, on the shelves. And if you take half of that away, all of a sudden, one retailer and they're all of the chases and rares, and they're never going to order in the same amount. You know what I mean? They're ordering in half of the amount you would have had access to when both of them carried the light armor. So they've got to do something. If Target is not going to pick these back up, there's got to be some avenue to get these out there beyond just vault packs or something, or they need to start like triple packing them every other case or something, or packing one a case in the first few fulfillments to Walmart. We just don't have access to them. That I don't even know if they're going to hit their full production runs. If they're making, theoretically, they're making 2/3 as many light armor vehicles as they were with Series 1 and would have been with Series 2. Series 3 probably had a ton too, because Amazon seems to have tons and tons of them. So they've got to course correct that somehow for us to have access to that small run of chases and rares in there. I think the vault helps, but you've still got 3,500 that would have been split across two retailers. Now potentially you've got half of that going to Walmart. So there's got to be some kind of course correction there by how they're doing case assortments to get those out to people, or just throw them up on the vault, something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what also helped too? Clearancing.
Stop! Don't do them.
Well, yeah. Clearancing out all those Landos. You'll have another peg now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on clearance. It's all on clearance. I mean, you walk down the toy aisles. The doom and gloomers always think that it's a Jazzwares Micro Galaxy issue, but it's collecting in general. Everything is sitting. Everything is on clearance.
And yet those Landos are still full priced.
It's the live by the assorted SKU, die by the assorted SKU. Sometimes you can get a deal on them, like we did with Series 2, where they were trying to clearance Series 1 and people were buying up all the Series 2 at the clearance price.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm all for there being assorted SKUs per wave. That makes way more sense to me. I guess it's just logistically more than major retailers want to deal with for each toy line to have a new SKU assortment per wave and have to put a new tag on the peg every new wave, and then you've got multiples, but it would allow for more direct clearancing to happen. You would get the GenFXs out if you could mark down just the GenFX to $1 or $3, whatever it is. The problem is major retailers can't do that right now, really. Unless they print out a physical sticker with it's not easy for them to do that because it all goes back to the one SKU assortment. No, Hasbro does it the same way. It's all one big SKU assortment that goes on for years.
Gosh, I wish they would just discount those. I mean, I saw a Cad Bane in recently. It's like, man, this thing looks really good, but not for $30. It's like, I just cannot justify paying $30 for that thing.
They're pricey. I just paid. Get into imports. You'll never have money again. I've
seen some of the stuff you've got, man.
$75 for a Kenobi that I already owned just to compare them. I bought they re-released the Farm Boy Luke and Phantom Menace Kenobi this month. Nice. And I rebought them just to see if the print detail had gotten better or anything was wrong.
What are you going to do with the other ones?
I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell the new Luke because he is much worse than the original. Actually, the paint job's way worse. The Kenobi, I think I'm going to keep the new one, but it was a toss-up. The print detail the resolution on the print detail was a little sharper on the new one, but the skin tone was slightly greener. It's just the skin tone was a little off from the pinker original, and it turned me off a little bit. But I think I'm probably going to go with the new one on that. So I will be selling both of those next month. Qui-Gon and Maul.
For which one?
For Figuarts, yeah. Shipping sort of. They're quasi re-releases. They added soft goods and they added the cloaks to each of them, and I think they added in maybe a new accessory for Maul into it. I have both of those as well, but
gosh,
man, I'm a sucker. I wouldn't say it's my first love, but I'm very, very into the imports.
I enjoy Darth Maul for sure.
Well, I can sell you the worst one I have.
Nice.
I'll sell you my the sloppy air. No.
Yeah, there you go.
All that stuff looks great, but I'm happy with my Black Series figures.
You got quite the Mario collection there, man.
Yeah, that too. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. Well, team, what other questions are there out there? We covered Vault, ATTE, Ghost, and beyond.
Touched on the taboo.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want to see some of the Vault stuff, there should be tons of content creator videos out this weekend. I've seen some doing some quick unboxings. I haven't seen anybody do an actual unboxing of a toy. I've seen a lot of boxes being unboxed.
Right.
Because they're triple
out.
So they come in their normal packaging. Then they have a shipper box that they come in, and then there's another outer box around that box. So they're double boxed and really 3 layers of boxes. So every time you see them pulling them out, and it's like the whatever they call them, like the Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah.
Everybody pulling this stuff out, but I'm sure this week, I know Landspeeder Luke got some of them in. He threw that up. Nostalgic Adam will probably have a video up this weekend.
Did he get some as well?
Yeah, should be. Yeah. He'll have them. I think a lot of the usual guys on those lists will have them. Dano had some. So they're around there. Check out some of those. Yeah, Landspeeder Luke is awesome. He's a good dude.
I think it is interesting that a lot of these got sent to some of these content creators that didn't know anything about it, which was pretty fascinating. Again, I would say for like all of those AEW fans and stuff and Fortnite fans, that these guys get it and they're like, this is cool, but I have no need for this. Now, all of a sudden, their quantity of limited run items is decreased for all these people that aren't even interested in it.
I was a little curious how many they sent out. I'm like, did they send on 100? Is it 50? You know, I don't know. And does that take away from?
Run?
Are there actually 1450 of the collector sets now?
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Nostalgic Adam, Landspeeder Luke. They're good dudes.
For sure.
Landspeeder Luke gave me a shout out in his video, so check his out.
Yeah, there you go.
Return the favor.
You're famous now, man.
There's been a lot of them. They're cool. It's cool to see. But yeah, I think a lot of people are like, whoa, hey, wrestling stuff. And they made one box that has all the exclusives in it basically and sent that to everybody. So
right,
you know, some of it'll hit with some people, some of it won't. But it's cool to get eyes on it before the release here.
Yep.
The collector's set, Dave, is that something you're going to pick up?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Kevin, you'll attempt to.
Yes.
Okay, I'm on the fence because I do have them all. The packaging is incredible.
Yeah.
I think because I want the AT-AT set badly, and I have all the scouts. I think my move will be I might just add the AT-AT to the cart, immediately go to checkout, depending on what the layout looks like. If they're all laid out there with add to cart buttons on everything, I'll add everything and scalp them. No, if it's easy, I will throw in that collector's set. But if you've got to go to a different page, add to cart on the page, go back, add the other item to there, I will probably just throw the Hoth set in the cart and check out, and then go back and see if get my order in, and then go back and see if that's set, which I would love to have, but I have all those. There's people out there that don't have them all. Mm-hmm. Maybe give them an extra few seconds shot at it, and I'll overpay for Series 3 blinds a fourth time, potentially, if they're still there.
I'm 100% in on that. I'm going to do the exact same thing.
I'm curious. We have no frame of reference. You know, I don't know if these will be up for 30 minutes, 30 seconds, right. 2 hours. 3,000 sounds like a tiny amount, but at $100, maybe they're there for, maybe they're there for a day. I just don't know. We have no clue.
I don't think
how long these are going to last. My guess is there'll be a lot of people that buy one of everything, or whatever the limit is of everything, to flip. And hearing some of the language behind the vault, that kind of seems to unfortunately be sort of the ethos behind this is kind of it's supposed to be limited run stuff to hold value and be collector's items. So we'll see.
I would imagine
within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes of that thing going live and somebody getting in their cart, eBay is going to be peppered with them.
Oh, for sure. I haven't been above. I went through some of the N1s and tried to report the posts, just because you're not supposed to sell. You're not supposed to pre-sell items you don't actually own. It kind of ticked me off that they didn't have them, put them up there. So I reported some of them, but
yeah,
it was petty. It was petty, but it made me feel a little bit better.
I can't imagine
so many scalpers. It's one thing too for somebody. I kind of get somebody that's into MGS grabbing 2 hollows if they're at the store, and it's like, okay, maybe you sell one for a little above market to pay for all the time you spend looking for them. What really makes me upset are the people that aren't into the line at all. They know nothing about it. They're 60 years old and they collect Hot Wheels, and they've just found out that there's a good market for them, and they pick them up. Yeah. So those are the ones that I don't. I joked with Kevin a week or two ago. I said he has some Hot Wheels competition in his area. I was like, hey, we need to start buying up the Hot Wheels and showing up, and that when we're making our rounds, buy up the Hot Wheels and start scaring those guys. Say, hey, You start messing with our stuff, we'll come over on your turf and start buying up your little Corvettes or whatever your little pink Corvettes or whatever you're buying.
Yeah, how's it feel now?
Scare them off. Hey, this is ours. Don't touch it.
I know. Yeah, there was a guy that was just following me around basically as I was waiting for somebody to bring something out. And I was like trying to be kind of like standoffish, and he kept coming up and asking and like talking to me, and I'm like, dude, I don't really want to talk to you right now. I'm just gonna get this and get out. Yeah. So hopefully that guy does not start getting some of the stuff. That would be very frustrating.
Yeah, I sure hope not. And we have enough to deal with Star Wars and fans and our own Micro Galaxy collectors scalping stuff to not deal with people that don't even know about the line to start grabbing them up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but definitely trying to manage that as well for anybody that's out there that is concerned about the scalping. We have been pretty diligent with it.
I'm curious if the light armor and starfighter sets will have increased in price too. Initially, we were told $50 for this set, now $60, and $100 for starfighter, right?
That seemed really weird, to be honest.
So I'm curious if now they're going to be 110 or 120.
Well, I mean, it's $15
for the
at retail.
sets.
So 15 by 5 is whatever. Was it 75? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah, it is 75. I'm just curious how. But if their retailers sell them for what, $16.99 sometimes, even if you say 17.
Hey Chip, welcome. Another Marylander out there.
It's my hope that they keep them at $100 because I'll be buying a set just for Ayla.
I know. I mean,
that's kind of a bummer. And then you've got hey, I don't know what the packaging will look like. Scout class, I kind of understand it looking different. What do we think the packaging for these other sets, that have the card in the bubble? I mean, who knows what that'll look like.
And we don't even know what's going on for shipping. Like, is it above a certain limit we get free shipping?
Yeah. So the store is 35 and above, like Walmart and places like that. 35 and above is free shipping. But most of the stuff in the store will be 35 and above. So I could see them changing it to like 99 but my guess is if you're getting the Hoth set, hopefully shipping's free. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, on the standard Jazzverse shop, it's over $35 gets free.
That's what I'm saying. It's 35, but for Vault, I mean, I could see them just removing it and you've got to pay shipping.
Whatever.
Small price to pay, I guess.
Yeah. If I can get it. If I can't get it, then I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah. I will be. I am not affected almost at all that I didn't get a promo box. I might feel a little different if I'm there 5 minutes early, refreshing nonstop, and still don't get one. Then my feelings might change a little bit. I'll maybe be salty when I'm buying a $400 version of it on eBay.
That's ridiculous, man.
Surely it's $100. That prices some people out. It's something that a lot of people already own. To me, this is a much more hardcore Micro Galaxy set. People own almost all these items already. It's $100, 3,000 of them. Surely it'll last more
Maybe
than.
Some people forgot.
Well, the problem though, Cole, is that there's 3,000 of them, and there's going to be a ton of people out there that don't care at all about the line or about that, and they're just going to get it and sell it off. Like I would say of the 3,000 that get sold, I wouldn't be surprised that half of them are purchased by people that have no interest in Micro Galaxy at all.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what that purchase limit is. I hope it's
It's
honestly
got to be
just for
one.
the first couple drops. I hope it's one.
How could you not
If it
have it as one for that
if
small of
it's
a run?
if it's two, man, you're instantly cutting that inventory in half.
Right.
Or access to it. That's probably close to half the number of people that could have gotten one. And I think a ton of people will throw two. Man,
They should have you answer Star Wars questions before purchasing the AT-AT.
Or something. Or something.
I really hope it's one.
Yeah. Or if you're going to do something like that, find a community of people that are super passionate about this and release it to them first. And then go ahead and release it out to everybody else.
That's why I'm not totally against the idea of a premium membership. If I got first shot at some of these, if they're going to do monthly drops, that's a lot of content. So it could be worth it. If you're getting free shipping and you get maybe 30 minutes head start at these exclusives, totally worth it for me, even just buying Star Wars and maybe once in a blue moon Halo.
Yeah, I'm in for a premium membership. As soon as Max mentioned that like a year ago,
it's free money. It's free money. It's
Yeah.
free money. Just make
Right.
a premium membership. Free money and give me 30 minutes head start picking these up. Let me get free shipping. Who knows? Maybe down the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't even care about paying for shipping. I just want an opportunity to get one. Yeah, I mean, I want to have a reasonable chance without having to be like within the first 5 seconds of the thing opening to be able to get something that I want to get.
My guess is it's just going to crash.
Yeah.
If there's issues, I think it's going to be more the checkout system is crashing versus the product selling out in a few seconds.
Yeah, but then what happens if that's the case? If that happens and it crashes, then what? What do they do? You just have to keep waiting and refreshing
once
it?
the site, in my experience, once the site comes back up, it's all sold out.
Right.
If it's anything like Pulse back in the day and stuff like that, I mean, the system goes down, it throws you in a queue, and then by the time you get to checkout, you may or may not have all those items in your cart still.
Yeah, what a mess.
Hey, as long if it could even last 60 seconds, we'll be okay. If you're on here watching this late night Micro Galaxy live stream, if it lasts 60 seconds, everyone here should be good. This is the people who are going to be on here slamming, spamming refresh like
F5 repeatedly.
I just hope there's some way to get payment information in there fast. Like that's my biggest concern. It's not getting it to the cart; it's getting through the checkout.
Right. It's a problem still with almost all of these.
Yeah.
Smaller, it's not Amazon, so
right.
Even Amazon, with some of these drops, it can get a little wonky. So, man, Zach, we're talking about the Vault exclusives selling out next Wednesday.
Yeah, the one thing I did see that Jazzwares does have is Apple Pay. So that could be one if you don't have that.
To do it quicker. Yeah, see, man, for bigger purchases like that, sometimes I like to throw them on Amazon PayPal credit, just because you can split it up and you don't have to worry about any interest or anything for 6 months.
I'd love to do it on PayPal.
And I assume that'll be a thing you could do, but it takes a lot longer to go to the PayPal site, log in, select your payment method, authenticate, go back to the site. So if you're trying to do it quickly, I would either hit Apple Pay. I mean, Apple Pay's got to be the quickest way, right?
I would imagine so. I don't have it
Yeah.
set up. I'm going to.
And I mean, who knows? I'm not sure who they're using on the back end. You know, if it's like Shop or one of these bigger vendors for this kind of thing, it might have a lot of your info pre-saved once you put your email in. And,
Yeah.
You've got to assume that it's going to be the same as the Jazzware Shop stuff, right?
It would be crazy if it wasn't. Yeah. So I think Apple Pay is probably one of your fastest options.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I hope for this one, I'm not as concerned about the collector's set, even though it's that smaller run.
Yeah,
Next month,
Shop Pay, Apple Pay, and Google Pay.
see all those are pretty quick, and then you can put in card info.
I'm checking to see here.
So Apple Pay and Shop Pay, if you've already got all your info in Shop Pay, that ought to go pretty quick because it auto populates. Both of those will auto populate your billing, potentially mailing address as well.
I can't imagine the limit being no more than 2.
No. Surely, if there is a limit, surely it's 2 at the most. They would be why put a limit if it's going to be more than 3 or 4? Yeah, Dave, I hope they do a bigger run of Comic-Con exclusives and then put those on Vault. Before this whole thing even came out, that was something that Jeremy Padower was talking about. Is getting exclusives, extra exclusives, whatever it is, but taking a portion of those and putting them on a website. And then we found out about Vault, 6 months, 9 months later, something like that. So I think that was part of the idea back then. Yeah, Damon, I don't know. Did you see PayPal on there, Kevin? Was that an option?
I'm setting up my Apple Pay here.
Yeah, you didn't mention it earlier.
No, it does not have PayPal on there.
Interesting. So, yeah, I guess that's going to be coming right out of the old bank account, unfortunately. But yeah, that should be by far the quickest way. Just going through Apple Pay. Shop Pay ought to be pretty quick as well. Tons of websites use Shop now. Shop even has its own app where you can track all of your purchases that use their system, and you can sync Amazon and things like that, so you can see all of your orders across every website and see which ones are being packaged, which ones have shipped. You can track each one of them and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think he mentioned Google Pay as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
so this is going on the credit card.
My gut will be I'll go for Apple Pay or Shop Pay, just because I think those will auto populate a lot of those fields really fast.
Yeah, I just set up Apple Pay right now, and you just hit Apple Pay and double click the side of the phone.
Yep.
And it does it.
That in my mind, that's probably the fastest way to do it. That's what I'll be doing.
Yeah. For some reason, it won't let me get multiple Y-Wings.
I'm also curious, when you spread out those payment methods like that, I think you're spreading out the some of that processing as well. So it could be beneficial to have a bunch of those checkout vendors there, because you're spreading out a lot of that processing across multiple places. So that might help the checkout process as well.
Yeah, boom, dude.
Super easy, right? Did you use Apple Pay?
Yeah, I didn't actually pay for anything yet, but yeah, I got it all set up.
Did it look like it populated your your address fields and everything like
It
that?
asks you, so if you haven't set up Apple Pay, it asks you to go ahead and put a credit card in there, and then it does ask you to input your address, your ship to address.
Yeah. So a lot of that should just be like boom, boom, double tap the button, and you're getting a confirmation screen. I hope.
Yeah.
I would be curious. I don't know who I'd reach out to. I would love to see what the landing page is going to look like. Just so we know, hey, are we going to have to jump into individual pages? Is it going to be, because when you're looking at that page, right, that like the microgalaxy landing page, can you add to cart from the main page there without going? Isn't there an add to cart button? I can check too.
Hang on a second. Sorry.
My guess is it's not going to be totally different from the way that website is designed.
Yeah, you add it to your cart and then you go right to pay.
Yeah, so the way I'm like, you can see on my phone here.
Yep.
Everything has an add to cart button from the main page, meaning you shouldn't have to go to, at least here, you don't have to go to an individual page. You could hit boom, boom,
Yep.
add to cart, and then it pulls up a second screen where you can either hit checkout or very quickly close that and hit add to cart on another one, then hit checkout, and you're going into the checkout screen. So if it works the same way as the Shop Jazzwares page, it might actually be pretty quick to add multiple items to your cart real fast, jump in, and you're hitting Apple Pay and on your way.
Yeah. As soon as
Assuming the whole site doesn't crash.
Yeah. Assuming.
And look, mine auto populated with, I didn't do anything, and it auto populated everything with Shop Pay. And it's got my bank card and everything in there, and it just says pay now. So if the vault, which I assume no reason to change how their site works, it's just going to look a little different, I would guess.
Well, I will say, Cole, once you hit add to cart, it automatically takes you to the cart.
So, well, that's what I say. Are you, at least in the browser I'm using, when you hit add to cart, it brings up a confirmation page.
Yeah.
Where it says checkout. All you have to do is hit that little X real quick. So you add to cart X, hit the next item, and that screen will pop up for that item. Hit checkout.
Yeah.
So you just want to hit add to cart, close that dialog box out, hit the next item, then you can go to checkout, and Shop Pay immediately populated everything in here for me already. And the pay now button is ready to hit. So, I mean, if it works like this portion of their site does, it could be super, super, super quick.
We gotta start practicing. Quick, go.
Timing ourselves.
I'm timing you.
Yeah, tell me what to add. What am I adding this time?
Add a squishmallow.
Oh, that's on a different tab. I'm screwed.
Oh man, classic.
Hope for the best.
I mean, and even so like Squishmallow's tab, very different look, but same kind of thing where you're just going across here and you can add to cart. I think it is, who knows what the Vault tab will look like, but I think it's a good sign that both of these tabs have add to cart buttons from the main product list.
Well, this is our homework for over the weekend. We're going to do speed runs of the Vault.
4 days, 13 hours, 2 minutes. Interesting too, when you go over to the Vault tab, I think we're good because you go to the Vault tab and it keeps the cart and profile intact here. So I think that's kind of telling me that my guess is this vault tab will just have the list of items just like when you go over to Jazzwares and hit whatever brand you want.
So fired up. Let's do this right now. Come on, Vault. Open up. Ready to go.
I want it. I
See
want
what
that
happens.
orange snow speeder. I want the snowy feet.
Now, the real
I want the
question,
damaged neck.
if you get them, are you going to open it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it.
Hell yeah.
It's too good to right. Like it looks great in the packaging, but you got to open it and make an actual dio with it, right? Like you've got to lay them out and do the actual scene with that stuff. I'm not
I've got
sure.
a few of them here. I'm waiting for them to drop to $30. You need to have, I think there's 6 AT-ATs in the actual.
I'm not sure what it would take for me not to open one, unless it was something I didn't care about as much. So far, it's like the only things I can't bring myself to open are Sabine and the Hollow X-wing, the Hollow TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
1 of 500 is tough.
The hollow I would keep boxed. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hollow is really tough. And
although they are coming
the
up.
Sabine is that's also pretty tough. It feels like 1 of 500. It legitimately might be 1 of 500. We don't know how many they produced, so I mean, it could be 1 of 1,000. We don't know. I don't think they hit their full production run of those.
Mm-hmm.
Man, did you see Scott Jones put his Hollow TIE and his Hollow X-wing in the evasive action packaging?
That looked sick.
That was slick.
Yeah, when he posted that, I was like,
man.
"What is that?"
Yeah, I pooped my pants real quick because I thought I'd missed like a huge announcement or something.
I know, same.
But it looked great. That was, and you still get it boxed. It's still boxed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't bring, unless I found a loose one somehow. It's going to be hard for me to open that. With the storyboard, I feel like I could maybe repackage them in a way. Like you can kind of repackage those.
You can, absolutely. And it doesn't really do anything to it either.
Again, I don't think I want those unboxed. They look fun. They look really cool in the packaging, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the weird storyboard ship. I'm not going to put those with the other ones. You know, it doesn't look like it belongs in a fleet.
Yeah.
They're hanging out up here somewhere. There they are. They're sitting on top of the Star Wars sign up there.
Sweet.
Along with all the TIE fighters beside it. Can't see them at all. Too dark.
I took all of mine out of the packaging. The one thing that I would say is a huge disadvantage of those storyboard ones is they all have rubber bands on them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I got to take these things out because those rubber bands are going to destroy these things over time, anyways.
Yeah, something in my interceptor is a little loose. I think
it's the pilot.
No, something else was loose. It might be the part of the packaging that the ship actually sits in. Oh, I think the whole bottom is loose. So if you shook it really hard, the bottom piece that is attached to the interceptor, the whole thing will go up and down. It's loose in the box. The other ones do not feel like they're loose that way. I didn't want to like get into a thing with the eBay seller, but I was kind of bummed that it was loose in there because I think it rattled around during shipping and it kind of scratched. It put like a scuff on the packaging.
It's definitely not loose. The packaging, it's you can see.
So the whole thing in there is loose in mine.
In that case, the guy probably unboxed it.
I mean, maybe, but the tie is still rubber. Like the tie is still, rubber banded to that base.
So there is.
It's just the base has come loose.
Right in here, Cole, you'd be able to see it because right in here, it's double tabbed. So there is a tab on the piece that's on the bottom, and then the outside part right here is tabbed as well. So it's like and it's taped on the bottom as well. So the only way that this piece in here would be loose is if this tape was removed on both sides, because it's taped down inside of it.
Hmm.
I'd call that eBay seller and say, bro, you better give me my money back.
6 months later,
Mm-hmm.
man, I am a little sad I didn't pick up the hollow speeder when it was cheaper. I knew it would go up in price, but they've gone from about, I think the lowest they probably hit was maybe 85, something like that. Most of them hovered around 100, and there's not many of them out there anymore, and they're quite a bit higher, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's cool, but I'll tell you what, man.
I didn't feel like I had to have it, but the problem is I have everything else, so it's like the one little hole in the collection.
Well,
I've seen somebody with the
that
Black
vault won't fill.
Series, the Holo Black Series, put the Holo TIE Fighter on the little stand, so that does look pretty cool.
It's about all those things are good for, right?
Yeah.
that is absolutely right. Although,
Oh,
I'm kind
man.
of like,
They are coming with a
why
Holo
would you
Vader.
spend the money for that $14 for that? It's literally an LED puck.
Yeah.
You can get those off of Amazon for like $3.
Yeah, I do think they're programmed to like they kind of like quiver a little bit. There's like some motion to the light that supposed to make it look more like the holograms. But yeah, I think Vader went up for pre-order yesterday, I believe. Maybe today.
Vader and Maul, those look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like the first wave of figures they put out for the hologram, it's like all figures that were never in a hologram.
Yeah. Vader makes a lot more sense.
Right.
My guess is Vader, Maul, and an eventual Palpatine will be like the clear best sellers in that subline.
Even
but
Cody.
It's a subline that is destined for clearance. I mean, it just they're like $30. It's such a niche thing. I don't get it. You know, they're kind of cool. But I if I could find one of those pucks on eBay for really cheap, I could potentially do that with the Hollow X-Wing. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Sweet.
Did we take any questions? Did anyone have any questions?
I think there were a bunch of questions, but I just ignored.
We just kept talking. We talked right through them. Milton, those are IKEA Detolfs with what are the bookcases? Not IKEA bookcases too.
The Billies? No, they don't look like
No, they're a little nicer than Billy's.
Yeah.
A little pricier. They're
I think I know what you're trying to do. They're deeper, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a lot thicker too. It's like real wood instead of the particle stuff. Besta? No, they're not Bestas. I don't know. It's the we've got them all in our house, all the nursery and side tables and stuff like that. It matches, just in case the collector's room ever goes away. It'll match the rest of the stuff in the house.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. It's hard when all the names are like crazy. Yeah, the Detolf's kind of going away. I'm not sure. I know you could sort of order them at some of the stores.
The only thing I didn't like about the Detolfs is that because I looked at getting them for a long time, but you can't adjust the height of the shelves. You have to get like new shelving pieces, and then they don't look the same. And
yeah, I think the good thing about them is that they're all very uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And the price at the time, I think they started out $49, then they went to $59. It was still like a pretty good price at $59. Then they jumped to $89 during the pandemic. And somehow they went from $89 all the way up to like $129. So they more than doubled in price in the span of like, you know, a year and a half, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And they replaced it, sort of shadow replaced it with a new one that I do not like nearly as well. So whenever I go to get more, I don't know what I'll do.
You have to replace them all,
I'm
man.
stuck with 4. I'm stuck with 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I got pigeonholed in my my new office here because this is my wall here. That's as far over as I can go, and then the door is right there. So, and then on the other side of me, that's all of my utility equipment for my house.
Amazing.
So that's all my like water heater and water softener and all that stuff is in the
Oh,
same.
okay, but not your actual utility room.
No, it's just some of the
Okay.
utilities.
You're not doing laundry in there.
No, all that
Okay.
stuff's upstairs, luckily. Yeah, trust me, man. Every time I come down here and I see this door is open, we got a cat. Every time I see the door is open, I'm like, please, God, because I have so many. I've got
Knocked over
probably
every single
30 figures all over the desk here and stuff's all over the place. So, anyways.
Our bedroom is directly below this room up here in the theater room up here. And anytime I hear, and I'll just be laying in bed, and every now and then I'll just hear like a, and I'll know, oh man, we got a diver.
Yeah.
We've had a diver. The shelves are like right above the bed, so
Nice.
It sounds like shockingly loud. And after the first couple times, now I know, I'm like, okay, I hope it wasn't a figure art.
Yep.
I hope whatever fell is a Black Series or something cheap. I hope it wasn't a nice one.
Yeah, it's funny. I came down here at one point because my stairs are right next to the wall. Like the stairs are right here going upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and all the shelves are attached to the wall. And so there was one time I came down and I had the whole room cleaned up, and Anakin, the Black Series Anakin, is laying in the middle of the floor. I was like, "What are you doing there?" And then I looked up, and I think like Ahsoka had fallen over and knocked over like a dominoes 3 or 4 figures, and I couldn't find Anakin's lightsaber anywhere. I didn't find it for probably like 2 or 3 weeks until finally I found it. It had kicked off back onto one of the shelves.
That's the worst, is when something falls and you lose an accessory or a part somewhere that you can't find.
Man, what a mess.
So how many Black Series do you have? You're not deep into figures, I know.
No, I've got I really have like just some Clone Wars stuff, and I've got the whole Rebels crew, a bunch of Mandalorians, Bad Batch, and
How many is that? That sounds like quite a few.
It's probably, I don't know how many is that. It's probably 35 maybe, or 40 of them.
I mean, that's way more than I thought. It was more like 4 or 5 that you had.
Oh no, yeah, I've gotten a handful of them, and then I started picking up some of the GI Joes here.
Yeah, the Joes are awesome. I've gone back and forth on wow.
So, yeah, a handful over there.
I've kind of gone back and forth on how deep into Joes to get, and I think I'm on my way back out. It's always like, I'm buying too many, and now it's back out. And should I sell a bunch? I got I did buy the HasLab. I've got the His tank somewhere sitting over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's amazing, but where are you going to put it? And with the Ghost on the way this year, it's like, where does this stuff go?
I'm running out of room.
So yeah, so I might sell the His tank. We'll see. I think I'm gonna scale it back to just the retro releases they do. They've kind of got like the retro carded subline, where it's like the more simple, like original and cartoon kind of deco on a lot of those figures.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna kind of scale back and do just those, and that way
I
don't have to buy nearly as many per year.
I'll probably only get the ones that are like on clearance. They have,
they're all so good. They're so cool. That line is, I mean, they're killing it more than most toy lines out there right now.
The amount of accessories that you get, and they all fit on the figure, was pretty sick.
It's great when you own the IP and you don't have to pay out, a bunch like Marvel, Star Wars, all that, They can pack in a ton more stuff for the price.
Yeah, the best one, I think my favorite one that I've got is there's a Firefly
Mm-hmm.
that came out. He's got like the little remote control car that attaches to the back of his backpack, and he's got like the night vision goggles and everything. I mean, it's sick.
They're so good. They're all awesome. I mean, they're doing good. Right now, it's the X-Men 97 stuff is out. That's real tempting. I've picked up some of those.
I know. I was super close. I saw the Wolverine. I literally had it in my hand. I was walking around the store with the Wolverine, and then I was like,
pretty hard to find now. My order from Amazon got lost, and I never replaced it for some reason because I had the VHS release Wolverine and the Love Triangle one. So I was on the fence. I'm like, do I even need this one? And now that I've got a bunch, like some of the I guess there's 2 waves of them now. I'm like, I do want that Wolverine, and he's sold out everywhere. He's like $45 on Amazon. So it's tough. I did go on a real unfortunate kick the last week or two buying Dragon Ball figure arts.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where some of the money's gone lately. Just buying tons of figure arts. Too much stuff, man. Not enough room. Too much stuff. Not enough room. Not enough money.
See my storage room. My storage room's similar. It just keep getting stuff on clearance and it just keeps throwing it in there. So either way. Well, team, we're at 11:15. We're 2 hours and 13 minutes into this. It's kind of crazy. It seems like time has flown by. It's always surprising to me that, I think Dave, when we used to do this with Mauricio and Jorge, we'd be done in like an hour. And then there was a period of time where Micro Galaxy started to launch, and then it was like an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. And then I think we had Max on for an interview that was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It was like, man.
Some of those interviews went till like midnight.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I think it is time for us to sign off. We wanted to do this as a special one this week just because there was so much stuff that was coming out. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to get back together here in a few weeks after everybody gets their orders in for Vault.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed that works. And, Tim just signed on. What's up, man?
Hello. Bye.
We're literally in our sign off here. But, thanks everybody for tuning in and for hanging out with us. We will hopefully catch you all in a couple weeks.
Don't forget, Vault Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep, 9 Pacific.
Good luck, everyone.
Yep, I'm going to be signing on at 9
But not as much luck as me.
I'm going to be doing 9 a.m. Eastern as well, just in case.
Yep.
You never know. It's prudent to continuously check for sure.
Yeah. How awful would this be if this goes live at like 3 or 4 a.m. like those Amazon deals?
Yeah, awful, but not a surprise.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with all of the stuff that they're putting behind it and the amount and the clock that they have running on it, I hope we're in a pretty good spot.
I sincerely hope the clock hits 0 and nothing happens for like 3 hours.
Oh my God. Wouldn't it be so funny
Can you
if
imagine?
the Jazzwares website just completely disappears? It'd be like Y2K.
It hits 0 and it's just a picture of a Squishmallow.
Oh no, it would be the guy that came out in the Squishmallow costume that was dancing. Did you see that on the Squishmallow Day?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, I sent a message to Tim right away. I was like, please tell me that. I want to know who was in that Squishmallow costume.
Oh no.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. All right, well, everyone. Oh yeah, Scott, you signed on late. We talked a lot about you and all of your stuff that you've got, so you'll have to go back and rewatch. But thanks, guys, for signing on late. Feel free to dive back into it, and you can watch it from the beginning in all of its entirety. and we will see you all in a few weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.